my art journal today for the ICWIC crew. This is gesso, and I'm just spreading it around my pages. And I don't want it too thick. And I'm going to put a little bit black here. My intention is to make this a gray for the base. And I'll be adding some white acrylic as well. I found at Walmart they sell these tubes of Artist Loft acrylic paint that's about half the price of what I've been spending at Michael's. I'm not too concerned about any sort of pattern or design on this page. Trying to get some of the blobs wiped up as I'm drying it. So I've got this tissue paper that has hearts on it. And I have to say, the reason why I named this art journal page Goodbye Love, I had intentions of doing this back on the last day of February. And, you know, just sort of a funny way of saying, well, there goes Valentine's Day. Or our Valentine's month, right, February. I'm applying medium here that is glossy. And I had not used this before. I want to see, it's like a gloss varnish is what it's called. And I want to see how it turns out. Funny because I saw this tissue paper and I would never typically buy tissue paper that has hearts on it, but I thought, oh, that would be cute for a page. Now I really struggled with this stamp. It didn't come out as deep as I wanted it to. Number one, I don't think my medium was dry, and number two, that particular thing I was using was the Fiskars thing was not the right kind of thing. I should have been using probably a regular acrylic block. But however, it worked really well and I took it off the thing completely. Now I'm using some spackle, and this is a heart stencil, and I believe I did get this at Walmart as well. I was surprised to see they have a very huge selection of stencils at Walmart, so I was real happy with that. The spackle dries quicker than the modeling paste, but I like to add alcohol ink to the modeling paste. It looks real pretty. Just trying to give a little bit of drawing here. Now, I don't even know why I pulled this out, to be honest with you. I just bought the stamp, so I thought I'm going to use that on one of my mixed media. So this is just some pink acrylic paint that's in a dauber, and it just kind of blobbed on there. So I'm going to try it in black, and it just the pattern just wasn't coming out. So I decided to set that aside. And this is an Avocado Art Stamps. I belong to their stamp membership. They are awesome. Their stamps are awesome. And these are X's and O's. And I'm just going to place them at the bottom of the right page and at the top of the left. And kind of smushed one of those hearts there. These are the little jars. And I used Memento ink on some pink paper and stamped those. And I will leave the name of the stamp sets on my blog. They were all Avocado Arts, but each month has a name to it. They do have digicuts, but I didn't actually have this one, so I just fussy cut it myself, and I'm using my medium here. These jars are so adorable. I've seen cards from their designer team using these little jars. You should check it out, avocadoarts.com. Very, very cute. Then these are little hearts that I cut out using, it's not like tissue paper, it's more like a cloth they have music notes on it. And I used my Spellbinders tiny little heart die and cut all those out. And then the polka dot one is just a piece of scrap paper that I had. I wanted to add that into the jars to make it look like they have a jar full of hearts. Now I just dipped my finger in some acrylic paint that was black and white, so it was kind of like a gray color, and I just wanted to kind of highlight around those jars, make them pop up a little bit. This is gauze that I used Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist on, and I had seen somebody use this on a tag and I wanted to try it on my art journal. I did this ahead of time where I just cut up the gauze in tiny little pieces and sprayed it, and then I let it dry real well. And I'm using medium to glue that on. This is a Recollections, I believe, veneer design, and it's a little bird in a cage. And at the end of this video, you'll see how exactly I embossed that. I'm using medium for that. And try to dry it out a little bit. Now I stamped these ahead of time, and I used my picked berries, I believe, Distress ink, and I'm tearing out each letter, and I'm going to distress the edges with my black soot. And I skipped over because it was taking me way too long. So here's the final, how it's turning out. I'm using medium to glue those down. I sure like the way medium works, and if you notice too, it's shiny. It's turning out shiny. Now I also cut out some larger hearts with my Spellbinders dies of that music paper, and it's not really paper, like I said, it's cloth, and I got that at Michael's, and they still have it today. So just gluing all those hearts down, and then I use my Epiphany punch and the polka dot red and white paper, and I made me some acrylic hearts, and I'm just adding them to that top left side of the page. Now I was going to put those little furry things on, and I started putting them down, and I didn't like that, so that's okay. A woman has the right to change her mind, huh? Just getting that real dry because I want to do some stamping with my archival ink, and it's not going to work if it's wet. This is just a music note stamp that I had bought at Michael's, and it was in their bargain bin, so I think I got it for like $1.79 or something, and I'm stamping it everywhere. This is some acrylic paint, pink, I believe it's called, pink pearl, and I'll have that listed on my blog. And there's some distress dauber that is pewter color. Giving that a little bit of heat, dry it real good. Now when this is all completely dry, I will actually go in and trim the tissue so that it's exactly on the edge of the paper. This is an acrylic, black acrylic pen, and I'm highlighting the hearts, or actually I'm bordering, putting a border around it. Now some of the places weren't completely dry, so the acrylic wasn't going on right. So I did dip my finger in the black acrylic paint that I had sitting there on the side, and just used my finger on some of those. And it felt like that was kind of boring right there, so I added some stuff to it. All right, here's how I did the bird cage. These are embossing pens that are colored. So all you need is the pen on anything. I've used these on stamps. Now I'm using it on veneer. You just color it the color that you want. In this case, I'm using the brown. And then you put your clear embossing powder on, and you just heat them. You just put your heat gun on it, and you've got all those colors. And I I colored the bird blue. And he had like a little pedestal that he was standing on. I painted that black, colored it black. There's my little bird. And so I'm just putting my Hampton clear embossing powder on.